Hello, welcome to the Sigma Made Simple channel. This channel is dedicated to explaining the principles of Lean Sigma and Six Sigma to anyone with little or no knowledge but wish to make improvements to any type of measurable process. My name is Dennis Wells, and I was learning about these tools even before I was certified in 2008 as a Six Sigma Black Belt and a Lean Sigma Green Belt in 2009. I've continued that learning as I believe in the power of these when applied properly. That is what I hope to explain on this channel. This is the fourth video in a series which takes you on a journey from finding opportunities to running a Lean Sigma or Six Sigma project and completing these projects for maximum impact. You should begin with the first video posted on the channel and watch them in order so you have a better understanding of the processes. For this video, we will review a project where the Lean Sigma tool 5S was chosen as a solution. We're going to go through what is 5S, why are we going to apply 5S in this case, and then we're going to review the project charter template, how we set up the 5S project. So what is 5S? 5S is a Lean Sigma tool which includes sort, store, shine, standardize, and sustain. Sort is ensures that you have what you need to do your job and you don't have anything else in the way, keeping you from doing your job effectively. Store is all the items that are needed have an assigned place on the workstation so that you can easily make sure when you come in that you've got everything you need to be successful. Shine is the tools, equipment, and workstation are clean, dry, and serviceable. Standardize ensures that everybody is following and knows the same processes for the area. This requires a document to be under revision control. All personnel who work in the area should be trained to it, and all personnel should follow the processes in the document. And sustain is a method of ensuring the previous 4S's in place are being followed routinely and they're being evaluated for how successfully they're being followed. So why 5S? Well, in this case, it's a loss of labor due to poor control of the materials and the items and equipment in the area. In this case, the operators have come to us saying that they lose about 20 minutes per day in labor looking for tools. Now, normally you'd never jump to a solution and then see if it works, but in this case, manufacturing personnel have requested help, and 5S is a tool which can help them with their complaint. So, in addition to the 20 minutes per day, there's 72 workstations in the area. They're shared by 50 people across 2 shifts. The area does small volume production, but also does prototypes and testing for design and quality engineers. The workstations will usually have more than one person working on them, and this is key for 5S. If you have shared workstations, 5S is something you could look into. So this area is the ideal application since there are so many people coming and going in the area, and the tools will walk off and then return after a day or two. Well, the previous video showed you a project charter template, and I'm going to show you what kinds of things we put into that template for the 5S project, and then we're going to update the EIC tool. So at the top, you'll notice that we put a project number, and then we put the name of the project here, and that's also the file name. The author is Steve Luna. He's the guy who started writing this. He started writing it on the 30th of March. This is the team. You don't need a huge team yet because you're just going from intuition to fact finding to see if you want to move forward with the project. And this is the information that you need for that purpose. Just grab the people that are in the area and talk to them. One, you should define the scope. So all 7 lines in the widgets area having a total of 72 workstations are within scope. And maybe a brief description if you'd like, but it's not really required. This area produces samples of new designs as well as low volume production. Scope, the extruder and molding areas. So two different areas in the same building. We're not going to worry about them right now. You need to have a problem statement. And you need to be specific, and you should have numbers. Problem statement really isn't very good unless you have numbers. Now, many times you're going to put numbers in here and you're going to guess at what they are, and then you go through measure and analyze, and you're going to come back and update them. That's fine. For now, we're going to put what we think is going on, and we're going to kind of investigate it a little bit. So it says all 50 operators report that an average of 20 minutes per day is spent looking for tools. This amounts to more than $320,000 in lost labor per year. When you talk to the area about the goals and the manager, be smart about the goals. Goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. In this case, we've met all of those SMART goals by saying we're going to implement 5S by June 30th. We're going to reduce the labor loss from 20 minutes per day to less than 5 minutes per day. That would be per operator. We're going to do a cost benefit analysis or / business case. So we're saying reducing to less than 5 minutes per day would recover 15 minutes per day of lost labor. So if you have 50 personnel, quarter an hour, it ends up being $242,125 per year recovered in lost labor. So it will cost $44 per workstation to install pegboards for a total cost of $3,168. Now what he did was he went out and he looked at where he could get the tooling and the equipment that he needed to put pegboards up, because we're going to use pegboards in this case, and he estimated a cost based off of actual information. So that's what's allowing him to go from fact and update the EIC matrix to go to active project. Next thing, we're not going to put anything in the summary results because we haven't finished the project. This is for when the project is completed. The last thing we want to do is we want to look at a counterbalance. And these are the things that we don't want to negatively impact when we positively impact or achieve our goals. So we do not want to put in place a process which takes more time to support than the effort than what is lost. So we don't want to put in place something that takes us a half an hour every day for every operator to save 20 minutes per day. We're working backwards. There's a little saying that you can use here: do not create a monster bigger than the one you're trying to slay. Just keep that in mind with everything you do with Lean Sigma, Six Sigma. Next is do not put at risk the quality of the product, and then ergonomic assessments will not be impacted negatively. So these counterbalances will help you update the project team later and keep these things in mind so that when you develop the process, you're not working backwards in one area. And that's really, the first 6 sections are really what's required. Once you've filled out these sections and done a little bit of an investigation, you can go back to the EIC tool, and then you can update that and see how this project compares to the rest of the ones that you are in fact finding. So we'll bring up the EIC tool and we'll do that. Just to review, we have moved the top 3 opportunities to fact. We collected some facts on all 3, and we're meeting again. And here are the changes. So for the project that we were just talking about for 5S, which was our number 1, ease was going to be updated to an 8. And the reason why is after we did a little bit of an investigation, we found out how quickly we could get the materials, and we also cleared the path for getting resources to help us do what we need to do. Okay. Impact was updated to a 4. And that's a little bit harder. Actually, it's a little bit lower impact because we're losing $320,000, but we're going to spend about 120 to save 240. So we have to change that number. It's a 4. You notice that the OPN now is 256. It's still higher than everything else, and relatively speaking, it's probably going to be even the same. We're going to go to the number 3 project, and they're going to report that ease was updated to a 7, and cost was updated to a 10 because they figured they're going to do a value stream map. It's not going to cost anything to do that. We're going to use whatever we have right now to get more with what we have. The third, or project number 11, it was updated so the cost is now a 3. They figured that they needed more expensive equipment that was automated rather than a manual process. And in doing that, they need more money. So if you look at the EIC rankings, now they're looking at $150,000 to $250,000 to do that, which means that they have to get more authorizations from management. So what happens is the E switches to a 3. So that keeps going down as well. Oops. So now you see maybe that's not such a good idea. You've got some other things below here that are even better because it's dropped so much. Normally you go ahead and move forward. In this case, what you probably want to do is you want to go from fact for this one. Let's go ahead and move forward with that. We're going to make it active. And then we're going to make this one active because they're both still good numbers. This one here, we're going to make that inactive. And there's a process for wrapping up your project template so that you can pick up later on. I'll show you that in a later video. One of the main things with that is in the summary, you should write down what you need to occur in order for this thing or this project to move forward. We'll go into that later. So after we've have some active projects, we have an inactive, what we want to do is we'll want to look at what's below this. What's below the 2 active projects? And all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sort the data again. And we're going to sort that data by column H. Yep, column H, largest to smallest. Okay, this is our next one. So maybe what we'll do is we'll take this and we will put it into fact so that we can go for fact finding. See if we can figure out what's going on with that. And then, like I said before, you go ahead and you find out what the actions are, the person responsible, the date that those particular actions are due, and then any comments that might be needed. And basically, that's how you run the spreadsheet. So why 5S? Well, it's used to ensure that workstations have what the operator needs and nothing more. The next video will show you what was done to take this project, this specific project, to completion. If you found this video useful, like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone else who may find it useful. If you didn't like this video or didn't find it useful, then subscribe in the hope that an upcoming video will be useful. Eventually, we will go through projects using the Lean Sigma and Six Sigma DMAIC process, as well as tools needed to support those processes. Remember, a wise person learns from their mistakes, while a genius learns from the mistakes of others. So choose wisely, and we will see you soon.